This long road to recovery after Milton, insurance companies really have their work cut out for them. Fitch Ratings estimating that these companies could be liable for up to $50 billion in losses. Residents, though, may not be covered for damage from the storm. Not everyone has flood insurance. An estimated 10% of Florida homeowners lack property insurance of any kind. See the state's 9th nationally. Amy Boggs, property insurance attorney in Florida, had to evacuate herself from her home, which I think is in St. Petersburg, right? Amy, thank you for coming on. We appreciate it.
Yes.
This is, we've talked about this in previous storms, and now it's being brought to light in this storm. I mean, where is this all going? Because it seems like a problem that's definitely not going away.
This is kind of the third storm that's going to hit Florida this year. So we had Helene, we had Milton. Now we're going to uncover the problems with our insurance system in Florida. Two biggest problems, immediately people are trying to secure their property, find additional places to live, get a contractor, get somebody out there. But the overall problem, what they're going to find is that we have reduced coverages under our policies and we have problems getting our claims paid. And I lay, I'm sorry, I lay the blame for that on, on our insurance commissioner, who has approved year over year double-digit increases and allowing cuts to insurance. We have a fraction of the coverage we should be having under these policies. And
well, at some point, it seems to me you're going to have a reverse migration story in Florida, because for years the story has been, all right, let's go to Florida. There's a lot of reasons, the weather and the taxes and all this, and that was the story, especially post-COVID. We did so many stories. But at some point, if this keeps being a bigger and bigger issue, people are going to say, no, it's not worth it. So what's the fix? Is there a fix?
Yeah, so I think the fix is that the legislature, instead of punishing policyholders, which they've done over the past 5 years, since Hurricane Michael crashed ashore in 2018, we have seen just a ravaging of policyholder rights. And until we hold the insurance companies responsible, people are not going to get their claims paid. And so what you run into, you're exactly right. We're going to have a reverse migration. Not only are we paying more and getting less, but what you are getting isn't enough to rebuild. It used to be if your roof was blown off during a hurricane, you got a new roof. You had replacement cost coverage. That's what you got. Right. Now you get 10% of your roof if your roof was more than 10 years old, and so on and so forth. And a contract is only as good as your ability to enforce it. So what we have right now, too, is a lot of stripping away of enforcement rights. So if a policyholder says, well, listen, I don't know how many people saw the 60 Minutes whistleblowers, that have come out in Florida insurance and say, right. So that's a second hurdle, right? Even if you do have coverage, you are now fighting that. And if you're underpaid and you saw people are underpaid by hundreds of thousands of dollars,
those numbers were crazy. Those numbers were crazy, way over, right? Yeah. Right.
I've seen them. I've dealt with complete, total devastation, nothing left but a slab, and the carrier paid $10,000 for a roof. Those are the types of stories. This is not just a one-off. And so what you run into is people unable to rebuild. And so how do you enforce your rights under the policy? You have to get somebody like me, which you shouldn't have to do to get your claim adjusted.
Right, should be much easier than that. It should be much easier. And to your point, there's going to be an issue. It's got to be dealt with at some point. These storms are going to keep coming. There's no reason to believe that they won't. So thanks for explaining all of this, and at least having up some ideas on how to fix it. We'll keep following it for people who are struggling in Florida and other places, by the way. Amy Boggs. All right.